I think you're amazing.
You are too, Henry.
Thank you so much. Well, Perry, you are awesome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, and I appreciate you what you're doing too, buddy.
Well, thank you. Because if you allow the world to define you, if you allow friends to define you, if you allow your spouse to define you, or anybody to define you outside of how God sees you, that does open the door to rejection. God bless you. I hope y'all have an amazing day.
Thank you, Brother Henry.
Thank
God bless you
Thank you.
too. Thank you for having us.
When I was down in a world of sin, Jesus stopped by, took my poor soul in. Ever since that day, I've been sometime up, I've been sometime down, I've been almost level, level with the ground. Jesus beat down, Jesus beat down.
Welcome to the Brother Henry and You Show. I am your host, Henry Harris. It's such a delight to be here with you today, and I appreciate everyone for taking the opportunity to join us today on the show. Today, our special guest is a longtime member of the group, um, the Blind Boys of Alabama. His name is Ricky McKinnie, a gospel icon, five-time Grammy Award group. We're so glad, Ricky, to have you on the show today.
Thank you for being here. I'm glad to be here.
Ricky, can you tell us how did the very briefly how did the group get started? How long you been singing with the group? Give us like
Yeah,
a little brief history of the Blind Boys of Alabama.
right. The Blind Boys got started in 1939 at the Talladega Institute for the Blind, but then they were called the Happy Land Jubilee Singers. In 1944, there was a promoter in Newark, New Jersey that had a concert, and there was a group out of Mississippi called the Jackson Harmoniers, and it was the Blind Boys of Alabama who was then called the Happy Land Jubilee Singers. So he said he's going to have a program, and they were going to call it the Blind Boys of Alabama versus the Blind Boys from Mississippi, and that's how it got started, right there. In 1944, that's when they became the Blind Boys of Alabama.
That's
And
awesome.
I've been a member for about 35 years.
Oh, that's a long time, and thank you for your commitment to that.
Oh yeah, it's been a great 35 years. I love gospel music and it's been great.
That's awesome. My next question is, there are a lot of groups out there, Ricky, specifically gospel groups. They start and then, maybe they go through a split or something happens where the group is no longer together. But you guys have been together for several decades. My next question is, what was it that sustained the group? What is the key to longevity as it relates to the Blind Boys of Alabama?
Well, first of all, we love what we do, and we love the people, and our faith is what's carried us as far as we've been. Because without believing in yourself and believing in God, it wouldn't have been possible. But the main thing is, one thing is that you have to love what you do, and you have to be devoted to what you do. So I think that devotion and that love is what kept us together.
Um, as it relates to gospel music, do you think gospel music has changed over the years? You said y'all started out the late 30s, 40s. That's when the group started. Um, do you think gospel music has changed over the years? If so, in what ways have you that you think it has changed? How can we keep gospel music impactful and effective um, in today's world compared to when y'all started?
Well, in 1944, blues was big in 1944, and gospel and blues was like first cousin. So, but every era they have the jazz era, the blues era, gospel era. Right now, they're going through like hip hop, and so a lot of the gospel music is taking on that type of feel, but we are a traditional gospel group, so we are still singing good gospel music, but we're not afraid to get with other groups to sing music. So we have joined in with a lot of people from different genres in order to keep our music alive. See, and what has kept us going all these years is the fact that we learned that people need people.
Mm-hmm.
And by learning that is what kept us alive. We don't mind working with another group as long as they are singing good gospel music and the lyrics are good. We don't mind doing it, but most of all, we let people know that we are a traditional gospel group, though. Stay true to our roots.
Rick, I think that's great. I didn't know that about the Blind Boys of Alabama, that y'all operate in that way. Because there's so many groups today. It's like we're doing our own thing. It's all about us, and etc. And you rarely ever see groups, intertwining with other groups, trying to help them build up as well. So I think that's great. My last question is, you've been singing with the group, you said over 30 years. Can you recall your most memorable experience while singing with the group?
Well, I have several most memorable experiences. One of which was when we first won our first Grammy Award. That was great. And then after that, we were put into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame in Nashville, Tennessee. And another time was when we received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Grammy Association. And then another time was when we went to the White House. We have sang to 3 different presidents, Clinton, Bush, and Obama. And those are some of my most memorable situations that I've done with the Blind Boys.
I think that's awesome. So y'all sung at the White House?
3 times.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Ricky, thank you so much for being on the show today. The Blind Boys of Alabama, they have a lot of great music, singles and CDs. One is called Almost Home. You can purchase that on Amazon. You can also purchase a lot of their resources and CDs and things that they have available at www.blindboys.com. Ricky, thank you so much for taking this opportunity to be with us on the show. I'm a huge fan, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are a highly respected group, and I honor you today, and I honor your group as well.
Well, I want to thank you for having us on the program today, because people do need people, and we appreciate you for taking the time out to have us on your program. But we want people to know to keep your ears open and keep your eyes open, because it's going to be a brand new record coming out in August on the Blind Boys of Alabama. We got a new CD that's coming out, and then next year we're going to have a book coming out on the Blind Boys of Alabama. So I think that the album's going to be called Blind Boys Sounds of the South, and so just hey, keep your ears open, and remember that you are important, because without the people that come to our programs, we couldn't do what we do and buy the music and people like you to get us on your radio programs, and we just appreciate it so much. But let me say this to you: tell everybody, don't forget to come out when the boys are back in town.
Oh, all right, that sounds amazing, and thank you so much, Ricky, for your encouragement. And we'll be looking out for everything that you guys are doing. We'll be looking out. You definitely have our support.
Thank you.
Thank you too, sir. And y'all have an amazing day.
You too. Take care now.
All right. Bye-bye. Well, Perry, you are awesome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, and I appreciate what you're doing too, buddy.
Well, thank you. Because if you allow the world to define you, If you allow friends to define you, if you allow your spouse to define you, or anybody to define you outside of how God sees you, that does open the door to rejection. God bless you. I hope y'all have an amazing day.
Thank you, Brother Henry.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
God bless you too. Thank you for having us.